let's jump right back in. I will defeat her this time, even if I have to code it out a little bit. But I did do a little bit of looking back on some old Black Clover chapters, and I found out Yuno has used his Spirit Dive in the final fight. Well, not final fight, but like the fight he's currently in after the time skip. He is currently just using Spirit of Zephyr though, but I'm quite confident he will have another transformation before the end of the series. It seems like they have quite a few each arc, if you will. Oh no. I don't know if you can really consider a transformation, but in the dungeon arc he got Bell. In the next arc he learned how to see and interact with Bell, which is, you know, the invasion of the capital. Crap, where'd you go? 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 There you are. What is after the capital? I always forget what arc Yuno is in next. I believe... Is it the reincarnation? It might be reincarnation. If it's no, wait, no, it is the Royal Knights exam. Which, within the Royal Knights exam, Yuno reveals his Spirit Dive. And then in the reincarnation arc, he reveals Spirit Dive's Spirit of Zephyr. Which is like... Oh god, it's so cool. And then in the next arc, which is like the invasion, well, I guess next arc would be technically Spade or Heart Kingdom, but he didn't go to the Heart Kingdom. So next arc for Yuno would be the Spade invasion, where he reveals Spirit of Boreas, which is my personal favourite because it's a giant axe and I love axes. And then also in that one, he also reveals a second transformation, which is his bow, which I still don't know the name of. I think it's Urius or something like that. I think it starts with the E. Yeah, so I'm pretty confident he will have another transformation, considering the fact Noelle's had one already. So I imagine Yuno is going to have one as well. Because as much as I love Spirit of Zephyr, I don't think it has the chops to deal with the final enemies. Although, with that said, with his Never Neverland, who knows? Because that spell is... oh god, it is hacks. That spell is pure hacks, and it's amazing. It's basically not entirely what I plan to do for one of my spells. So, essentially, the idea for a spell I had is like a mixture of Simple Domain and the Mana Zone Never Neverland that Yuno creates. So for those who have heard about me ranting about my book on these videos, know that in my story the main system of power relates to the soul, what colour soul you have, and how strong your body is depends on how much mana your soul lets into the body. So therefore, the stronger the body, the more mana it can handle, the more mana your soul gives it. So what the power-up, or I guess spell, essentially does... Yeah, what the spell... well, I say it does, but I haven't made it yet, I just know what it will be. What it essentially will do is wrap the mage in their own soul, essentially. Whatever the element is for their soul, they'll essentially wrap them in it. So things such as gravity, things such as erasure won't affect them because they are no longer governed by the normal rules of the world. They are governed by their own rules based on the fact that their soul is essentially protecting them. They are running off the rules of their soul, not the rules of the world. So think of it sort of like Mana Zone, also sort of like Simple Domain. Not Simple Domain, but domain amplification. If you've seen JJK, you know what that is. So think of it like domain amplification, or like Mana skin from Black Clover, or like somewhat like Sage of Six Paths from Naruto, but Naruto still holds true to the world. Like if someone suddenly increased the gravity of the world around him, he would have to conform to that. But for my characters, they don't. Essentially, using the spell is essentially defying the world, defying God.
Leave us be, Ashen One.
That was the first time I got caught in that. Wow.
And have thine own subjects to guide.
I needed the spell just for like one specific opponent I'm going to put into the book. Like, it's going to be like the final, not final opponent, but close to the final opponent, essentially. And I did have a different way of getting around the, like, spells this person is going to use. Just to clear things up, they can erase things from reality, essentially, unless they're protected. What I was going to do was have it so my main character would, along the way, gain some of this person's power, and then write it so that they're not allowed to delete their own existence, so therefore their own power. But then I realised that is way, way too big of a weakness for someone as powerful as this. Like, so long as someone has a bit of your power, you can't erase them? Hell no. Way too big of a weakness. So I decided instead to use a transformation, essentially, I already had in mind, which was the, you know, wrapping the main character in his own soul, essentially, in his own element. It was a transformation I already had in mind, because I have, like, two written down, essentially. Essentially, the normal transformation, and then, like, an enhanced version. So I already had them in mind. But now I just have an even better use for them. They're going to be used to defy one of the final enemies, without having to like make this whole system of that's why this character can't just erase Alex. So it works out for me. Granted, it does leave the possibility open for others to enrapture their soul like Alex can, but I'm gonna have it so Alex is essentially the first one to do so, but others begin to follow suit after seeing him do it. Like, they start working out how to do it themselves. Where is she? Where is she? There she is. So essentially Alex uses it and people start taking inspiration and doing it themselves. And that's what brings about another thing that happens later in the story. It's the reason why this certain thing happens and why he gets attacked by this certain enemy. Because, like, they're mad at him for making people who, like, defy the laws of nature and stuff. I say defy laws of nature, it's more so just, like, gravity and, like I said, erasure. It's not like defying freaking aging or death or anything like that. It can still very much be killed. He's not like bringing people back to life or anything like that either. He's not defying nature in that sort of instance.
The Lord of Londor, and have thine own subjects to guide.
Goddamn. Sister, you are so rude. So mean to me. Yeah, but moving on from that, back to Black Clover. Yeah, so Yuno is just, he's so awesome. And I love seeing people gas him up. Because they're like, oh damn, this kid's got what it takes. And I love seeing Klaus gas him up. Granted, it's kind of expected of Klaus at this point, because Klaus is like one of the best characters. Best growth. One of the best, like, it's small. Granted, his character, like, development is small. Well, it's not, I'm not going to say it's small, more like it doesn't take long, but it's noticeable, it's effective, it's amazing. It's one of the best, like, growths for a minor character ever. Plus, it's not just like you see him in one arc, you see him change in that arc, and then that's about it, he remains the same person. Hell no! Klaus is above that. some people may not know what I mean. So essentially, Klaus disrespects Oster and Yuno because of where they come from in one arc. But in that same arc, he learns that they are above their station, essentially. They are not what they're made out to be. They are deserving of respect, despite where they come from. And they could have just left it at that. Like, great, he's learned his lesson. People should be judged by themselves and not where they come from or who they're born to, or the status they're born into. So, great, you learned his lesson. It goes further than that. He doesn't just...
Ashen One. Thou art the Lord of Londor.
Oh man, he doesn't just learn not to disrespect them, but he starts taking some of the, like, specifically Oster's inspiration. Like, before, he was just a normal magic knight who only trained his magic. However, after speaking with them, we see a couple arcs later that Klaus has been training himself. He's been doing physical labor. Well, not physical labor, but he's been doing actual training. Not just magic training, but physical training. Like, Oster's had an impression on him, and he's trying to build up his strength physically as well as magically. He wants to be stronger. And it's amazing to see. Because Klaus is... It's not even arguable. He's a very minor character. Klaus is very, very minor. It's like if they have to give freaking Kiba development. No, but Klaus is even more irrelevant than Kiba, I feel. Yeah, no, Klaus is definitely more relevant than Kiba. And yet, Klaus gets more development than Kiba. It's not just Klaus either, but arguably the most filler character in the show, freaking Seke. Seke gets more development than Kiba, and Seke is awful. No one likes Seke. But in, like, the battle in the Space Kingdom, when Oster is beat up, when he's bloody, when he's been beaten down, basically for the entire arc. This is like at the end of the arc. He's been beaten down so much, like during the entire thing, and he gets up to fight again. And... oh, god damn it.
Return from whence thou camest. Huria surely
oh no, I forgot
awaits
his name.
thee.
I just said it. I just said his name. I forgot his name. What is his name? Seke, yeah. So, Oster's getting up again and dragging himself forward. He's dragging his sword behind him. He's beat up, one of his eyes is almost closed. His clothes are basically all torn off. Well, his shirt is anyway. And Seke is sitting there like on the verge of tears. He's like, at first he's questioning, why are you getting up? Why are you continuing to go forward? There's nothing you can do. You're magicless. You can't do anything in a battle where even the captains can't do anything. But then, as he continues to talk, it changes. He's no longer saying you can't do anything. What he's saying is, why couldn't I do it? I spent 6 months doing nothing. Why couldn't I be more like you? And it's just... oh god, it's so good. I want to cry almost. I gotta be honest, I almost want to cry. Because like the image it shows where it's like, why couldn't I be more like you? Like, that specific wording is like in big text, and it's on the image of Oster's face where it's all beat up, his eye is almost closed, he's bloody, he's bruised, and Seke is in the background almost crying because he wants to be better. He actively wants to be better because he's inspired, and he's freaking... it's not as if he's just inspired by Oster, he feels freaking horrified, he feels disgusted with the fact he hasn't done anything in 6 months, the fact he wasted his time. He feels awful, the fact that he did nothing. And he feels awful because he knows he could have done more, and that he wants to do more now. And that he wants to be like Oster. He wants to push himself like Oster. And I love that effect. So I think someone else has talked about it before, but it's similar to the effect Luffy has, where it's not the world changing the main character, it's the main character changing the world. Oster and Yuno are changing the world for the better. They are breaking through the stereotypes of peasants and commoners being nothing and rising, and they're pushing it so people know not to underestimate you just because of where you come from. And they're pushing that, and it's not just about pushing that like on a bigger scale, but it's about individually. Klaus is a noble, and yet Oster and Yuno impressed him so much that Klaus not only respected them afterwards, but he started to train physically like Oster does. That's how much he respects Oster now. And Seke was, well, he was a nobody. Well, in the manga anyway. He was, I'm not saying he was like a nobody in the world, I'm saying like he was decently magically gifted, and he was recognized by the king, so he could essentially do whatever he wanted. But despite the fact he had such privileges, in the fight he didn't feel privileged, he didn't feel bigger than Oster. He questioned why he couldn't be more like him. He questioned why he couldn't be like Oster, why he couldn't push himself like Oster does. And he questioned why he was the way he was. He questioned why he spent 6 months doing nothing, essentially, just playing it big and not training, not working, not doing anything to better himself. And that's what I love, the development, not just the main cast gets, but everyone, even side characters. Like, one of my favourite scenes in all of the anime, and I do prefer the anime version to the manga version, just because I prefer the wording in the anime compared to the manga. It's during the Royal Knights exam, when Oster is going up against Longarus. Longarus is like going on about the fact that Oster's a nobody, that he can't do anything, and well, Longarus is going on about that, and Oster hits him with a speech, and I love this speech. He's like, the reason we grow stronger is so we can help one another. The reason we are in groups, the reason we're in squads is so we can help each other grow. I don't get strong to show off. I get strong to help people. I know I'm butchering it so bad. This is nowhere near what he says. So I very much recommend going to watch that speech because it's so good. And the speech itself, whilst it is good, I think the thing that makes me love it so much is what it causes. So whilst he's talking, you get a shot of, it flashes between everyone who's like in the stands watching, and you can see that they're all watching diligently, they're all listening diligently, they can all feel the effect of his speech. There's commoners there, there's nobility, there's royals, there's even the Wizard King, and they're all just silent, they're all just listening because they understand and they get his words, they understand. And they do know what he means. They respect what he's saying. And the bit after that is so good as well. Like, Oster says, I'll burn my power into you, essentially. That's what he says, because he's like, I'll show you what a commoner can do, I'll burn my power into you. And then after that, he breaks a crystal to win the game, but he loses because both crystals shattered at the same time. I know it sounds weird out of context, but if you watch the show or read the manga, you understand. And Oster is so devastated that they lost, and he's about to collapse because he just used like a power up which like exhausts him, so he's collapsing essentially, he's falling down, and it just cuts to a shot of Magna, one of his teammates, on the field holding him up, and then it cuts to another shot of everyone running onto the field surrounding him. And I love that shot so much because there's everyone there. The only person who isn't there is Yuno and the Wizard King. Yuno, I understand. Yuno has believed in Oster forever, more than anyone. Yuno believes in him. It's why he believes Oster is the only one worthy of his rivalry. He adores Oster like a brother. So, you know I understand. The Wizard King, I also understand. He has to hold a position. He can't just run onto the field with everyone. But the important bit is that everyone runs onto the field. Commoners, royals, nobles, they're all there to support Oster, to surround him and make sure he's okay. Because he affected them so much with his words. And I absolutely adore him. I'm gonna, after this one, I'm gonna cut it out until I'm done with her, because I can't have 3 videos of not killing this woman. Okay, she needs to die. Sorry, Freed, but I have things to do, and dying to you 50 more times is not on that list. At least recording-wise is not on that list. I can't record my death to you 50 more times. Ah, crap. I thought I could dodge into the attack. Did you run over here? You didn't, did you? No, you didn't. Where's she at? Where's she at? Where's she at? Where's she at? There we go. Tried to dodge. I was late. There we go. Come on. Come on, sister. Come over here for me. Crap. Okay, she's not coming over here, but Ariandel is. Come on, Ariandel. Back over here for me. Do I get burned by this? I don't get burned by this. Okay, that's good to know. Okay. Come on. Speaking of development, and basically everyone gets in Black Clover, they hand out development like candy in that show, in that the manga, which is beautiful, beautiful to see. People who were just introduced, like the Shogun, freaking. Oh god, what's her name?
One. Thou art the Lord of Londor.
Thing is, sister, you'll know who's sister. His sister gets development more. Yami gets more development. Oh god, it's so good. Either way, I'll be right back once she's dead. Oh, this is going to be painful. It took longer than anticipated, but she's dead now, so I guess we're moving on to the next one. Oh god. Oh god, it's not going to be fun. This place is... In fact, why am I moving on? I still have one boss left to face there. I still have Champion to face. In fact, there's a couple of things I need to do. So I need to go face Champion. I also need to go to Dragon Peak. And then I think that's it. Let's level up now. And then we're going to move on to Dragon Peak later. Yeah, we're going to do Dragon Peak likely halfway through this DLC. Yeah, but I want to make sure I got at least 2 levels out of this. Well, I hope that's 2 levels. Ooh, it's going to be kind of close. Wonderful. 600.
Farewell, Ashen Maid.
Now then, let us Yeah, let's go take care of the champion. Fully clear off this DLC, get it all done. Sorry if I was talking about something before the break, by the way. If you can't tell, it's been a day, I think? Like a full day since I last checked. Yeah, it's been at least a day, I believe. But that aside, let us go kill the champion. So, champion's not hard. Champion's pretty easy, actually. The problem with champion is, despite the fact he's easy, he's also annoying. So I'm not looking forward to this. Yeah, so if I was talking about a specific subject, yeah, I'm not going to continue with that subject because I can't remember. Stay away, champion. Dealing with your pets right now. Okay. Alright, let's do this, champion. You're like a freaking Greek hero with the shield and the sword. Alright, I guess just a Greek soldier would also work. Crap. Come on, get over here! Crap. There we go. Wonderful! Now it's about to come in. Here it comes. No, there we go. Hello, big guy. I'm just gonna call you Fenrir. Hello, Fenrir. I know you're not actually Fenrir, but... Oh, come on. He's almost dead. Alright, so the wolf is easier to beat than champion most of the time. The problem is if you beat the wolf, another one will just come in unless the champion's dead. So it's just easier to kill the champion first, because another wolf will come in to fight you if you kill this one. Granted, it takes a while, so you have some time to go fight the champion. But still, it does come back in. Oh, damn. Oh no. No, don't frost breath me. Bad dog. Bad dog. Oh crap. Woo. Okay. Champions, Bones, and Valahart. Whew. Alrighty. Somewhat concerning, but we got through it. Now then. Big old grave. I think that's for... I'm not sure. Because the whole, like, aspects leans towards Artorias, you know. You know, dogs, freaking a warrior. But who knows? I'm not sure who the grave is for specifically. So, what they gave us is, you know, the Champion's Heart. It's essentially PvP for this game. So, like, you can set up matches. Let me show you. Burn Champion's Bones. You can now do undead matches. Which like duels, 2-player brawl, password, none, and match. Really hope I don't get thrown into a battle there. I didn't actually mean to get
Welcome
into one.
home, Ashen One. Speak.
Level up. Ah,
Farewell.
crap, I need to go quit the match. Need to go quit that match. I don't actually want to fight in a match. Okay. Cancel. Cancel. Makes sense. Everyone's probably on Elden Ring anyway.
Welcome. Then take.
Alright. Level up my health. Well, not my health, but my strength once more. Very nice.
Farewell, Ashen Maiden.
So next up is gonna be Dragkeep. And goddamn is Dragkeep gonna be fun. After Dragkeep, after we beat the first boss of Dragkeep, which is the princes. There's different princes, not the ones at the top of the tower. After we beat them, then we're probably going to move on to the dragon castle place. Dragon cliff, essentially.
Oh, your head's square on your shoulders, is it?
Indeed
I
it
thought
is.
that clamoring tin can was the last. But here we go again. What is it you want from this old stone-amped hag? I've nothing for you, not a smithereen. I just like to stand here and take in the view.
I have business
Well,
with you.
that came out of nowhere. You think an old stone-amped hag would be brimming with goodies?
Yes.
I've none of that, not a smithereen.
Don't lie to me, lady. What do you call all this then? Give me that split leaf greatsword. I'm not actually going to use it, but it's cool. Give me all that.
At the close of the Age of Fire, all lands meet at the end of the earth. Great kingdoms and anemic townships will be one and the same. The great tide of human enterprise, all for naught. That's why I'm so taken by this grand sight. This must be what it's like to be a god.
I'm not entirely sure, but go off,
If you
queen,
just
I guess.
can't stop yourself, at least hear this. Far below, there's a deep, dark hole carved out of a tree. From time to time, voices brim from the depths of the cavity even now. Mutterings of the very demon that Prince Lorien spoke of, I'm sure. Horrible sounds of an afflicted thing, yet cursing men.
Alright, well,
Keep your marbles intact, at least until I lose mine.
alright, well, I am going to leave things there for now. If you enjoyed, like, share, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. I will see you all later, and goodbye. And don't trust this. This is not right. Wait, maybe? Oh no, it was right. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'll see you all later. Goodbye.